All right. Good evening, heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming in C. Now, as you may be aware, I am on the staff of Handmade Dev. And Handmade Dev are the people who are responsible for the Handmade network, which you can find at handmade.network if you just navigate to that URL. They're responsible for running that website and the associated IRC server. And this month, on the network, the monthly news contains some plans for 2017. This is the news here. You can see all this stuff. Abner Queenberry wrote this. He is like the, I don't know, like the, I suppose the godfather of the network, I suppose. So we've got this new stuff here. Submit a project. Feature that Chrono Dragon has written. So that's like an online form for people to just fill in and submit their projects. URL unfills. This is done by Jeroen, who I can't pronounce his name. I mean, I love him to pieces, but I just can't pronounce his name. So Kalimian might be easier to say. The English word Kalimian, of course. So there's all this stuff. RSS feeds. He's actually done RSS feeds since this post. Formalising monthly update. Now we're currently in the process of doing this. Today I actually did a little review of the current state of the document, and once we finalise that, that will start to take effect really. And when you go to submit your project, you will see this monthly update policy, so you know whether you want to kind of accept it basically. And then we come down to here, which is the plans for 2017. And the two big things here really are a wiki, so that's going to be on the website, just documenting various documents, API irregularities, discussing build systems, and whatever else we kind of think will fit, really, what we think will fit in a wiki. And this other thing here, educational materials. So at the time of writing, I don't believe we had any educational materials. Well, I mean, I suppose like Handmade Hero, actually, that is educational, definitely. And there is educational value in OBBG, I'd say, and also the other, the other streams from other projects. But we didn't really have. I don't really think we had anything in the way of lessons that people could follow. So, for example, somebody like me who's just learning, we didn't really have anything for someone like me to go and like see this set of tasks to do, and they can then follow them. But it just so happens that the incredible insofaras has actually written some lessons, and they are right here. PPIC lessons. Now I did mention them. I mentioned them on the stream yesterday, the start of yesterday's stream. But today, I'm going to actually be following lesson 1. And I believe he is taking pull requests. Yeah, so contributing. If you'd like to contribute a lesson, all this stuff, just send a pull request. A beautiful intro. Comment or open an issue. Yeah, so this is all. It's all totally open. So if you want to contribute a lesson, or indeed if you want to follow the lesson, by follow I mean actively kind of do the lesson, and you can do, and that's at this URL here, which I believe is hidden behind my head. So I will just post it in the chat. Just give insofaras a heart, a personalised heart, that is. And you can just find it at this URL here. And just in case there's anybody down in the Twitch chat as well, I'll just post it down here too. And also, awesome! Interbot is also picking up the trigger, so you've seen that I'm live, and he's just pointing people up to the actual IRC. He's also mentioning Interfaras is mostly winging it. Okay, so in Interfaras' own words, it's mostly just winging it. We shall see how it goes and if any improvements are needed. With a sticky out tongue. Yeah, so I suppose we can consider this potentially like kind of a test case, really. Because I myself am still learning. And yeah, I suppose that's worth mentioning, like before I start, although when I actually follow it, it'll become very clear that I am learning. But I'm not sort of, I don't really have much experience of programming. So in following this thing, I don't need to pretend what the experience of a learner would be like, because I know what the experience of a learner is, because I am a learner. So hopefully it'd be kind of a good test for the lesson. Yeah, but with that beautiful intro as Interfaras described it, might as well get going. Before I do though, well, I mean, this is sort of part of it. What I would actually like to do is to potentially try and link this into my practice directory. But I kind of couldn't quite get it to do what I wanted to do. So this is just a bit of boring administrivia here. Target directory. Okay, right, so I probably need to do target directory, especially the directory to create the links. Relative link locate. Oh, hang on a minute. Is it relative? What did I do? I did S. So I use S to make a symbolic link instead of hard link. Okay. Create symbolic links relative to link location. Jockey's saying, so you don't have to pretend like you know what not learning like exactly, isn't that? Yeah. Maybe link would work with an absolute path. Right, okay. So you're saying, I see, right. It's like the, let me just echo this, just to double check. So you're saying like, link this, and then PPIC lessons to GitLab below practice. Hard link not allowed for directory. Okay. So that means we need a symbolic link. So the symbolic link to that. Right, okay. So right, awesome. So it was an absolute path. You see, you can already tell that I'm in good hands here. Still with the S. Yeah. Insofar as just saving the day. As always. So yeah, this means that I can just, well, actually I can just completely close this, can't I? Because I don't need it. So yeah, let's close forcoder temporarily, because I'm going to straight up open it right up again. And then PPIC lessons, which is just straight there. Lessons, lesson 1, lesson 1C. Right, cool. So we're here. We are in the classroom. And let's just get some music on. I think the Gone Home soundtrack will be appropriate here, because in that game you play you play like a schoolgirl basically. So it's kind of a similar age, and a similar kind of mental space. Insofaras doesn't want to help too much with the actual lesson though. Maybe only chime in if you ask a question directly. Okay, right, awesome. That sounds great. So you would be like kind of like an observer, an impartial observer. Well, maybe not impartial. An inactive observer, let's say. So lesson 1 string. It's actually got a title. Lesson 1 strings. So implement me number 1. So the input is going to be. In fact, actually, I should read the readme, shouldn't I? Right. Okay. So these are small lessons, challenges, puzzles to help improve familiarity with the C programming language. You have to fill in empty functions in template.c files, or template.c files. And when compiled and ran, okay, these functions will be automatically tested to verify their correctness. The puzzles are intended to be at an intermediate level. They assume some basic understanding of the C language already. This repo was created to help Miblo with his Practising Programming in C streams series, but anyone is willing to use these materials for their own learning. Sweet. So, first lesson. I am insofaras as playtester. I am. So, implement me number 1. So it's this dude where's my car function. What do you change the 1 star thing to clang with SO? Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, I think I will do that because I am familiar with Clang's stuff. I think it's just a work fine. Warning control reached the end of non-void function. Right, interesting. So, yeah. So that kind of means I need to implement it all before I can actually see any stuff, does it? Let me just see something here. So there's an int. It's only a word. Ah, right, okay. Alright, so I should still get the. That's interesting. What was that? That was an int. Did I not have anything? I don't know. So, like, if I just throw that in there, that should. Yeah, right, cool. Alright, so doo-doo is my car. So the string is going to be a null terminated string. So my inputs are a string, which is a null terminated string, and the which is the character whose position we are looking for. Requirement: return the index in string that which first appears. Returning 0 means that which appears at string 0. If it does not appear at all, return -1. This sounds pretty straightforward to me. So int I is equal to 0, because I'm going to have to loop over this string, right? While it's less than the, or while string is 0 terminated. So while string that is actually valid, plus I, we're going to say if string at I is equal to which, then return I, basically. If string at I is equal to which, return I. Right, because it's the index. Returning 0 means that which appears at string 0. So if int I is equal to 0, string isn't plus I, if string, so we're going to come in here, I could be equal to 0. If string at 0 is equal to which, return I. So that will satisfy this. Otherwise, if we get through the entire loop without having returned anything, then we return -1. Yeah, okay. Let me just scroll down to the bottom a minute. Did it build this point? And let me test harness. Right, okay. So okay, so I'm going to assume, right, that if I return, I can't return one of these guys, right? Can I? Oh, it's an int anyway. So like if I return like 255, for example, I don't know if that is correct. I don't think. Try running it. Right. Gotcha. So yeah, good thinking. Right, so to run it from 2 to same, right? I'm with you. So PPIC lessons, lesson 1. My executable is there. I like how you managed to set the permissions for lesson 1, by the way. Or did you? How did that build? Like, because this has built, hasn't it? So right, so I passed. So I passed the dude with my car. That's awesome. Let me just see. Let me just fail it. Test failed. Cool. Interesting. And what else do I see? It builds a separate thing. You run the output, not the C file. Yeah, sure, but I mean, it's this. It's the one built us now, isn't it? Like, we're executing this file. You know, and this file does include. It includes the test harness stuff. I mean, what I'm kind of saying is like, how does it execute this file? Like, if it's not, I mean, this is totally like superfluous because it works, but like, if I go to, what was it, lessons, lesson 1. Where am I? Oh, sorry, right, I'm already here. So yeah, what I'm saying is like, so the permissions on this are just read and write. I would have thought it'd need the executable. But it seems to be working. So that, oh, awesome, okay. Wow, even more magic. Ah, right, of course. So in this case, so bash is the executable. Gotcha. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, this is just again another demonstration of how safe a pair of hands I'm in here. For the benefit of those watching. So we've passed the first test. We might as well continue. X is X, implementing me number 2. So the input, because this is a function called find substring. There's some error definitions. Error just hey, error try panophobia. Okay. Try panophobia. Implement number 2. So my input is haystack, which is a non-null terminator string which we are searching. Haystack size, the number of characters in the haystack string. Right, okay. Then he does a null terminator string which we are searching for. Okay. If needle appears as a substring somewhere in haystack, then return the first index within haystack at which needle starts. If needle is an empty string, return 0. If needle is not found, return error just hay. If the length of the needle string is larger than that of haystack, return error try panophobia. So it would be a bit of a difficult to remember, by the way, that it's supposed to be the fear of needles. Oh, I see, right. Trypophobia. Wow. So I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. Obviously. A non-terminator string which we are searching. The first index within the haystack which needle starts. So we need to loop through the haystack. We need to loop through the haystack for as big as the haystack is. Did it say haystack size could be 0? No, it didn't. Haystack size plus I. So, okay, so for int I is equal to 0, I is less than the haystack size, plus I. We want to go through the haystack comparing each character in it with the first character in the needle. If needle's an empty string, return 0. I mean, I suppose we could early out on that, couldn't we? It's like, how do you determine the length of needle? If needle is not... Right, okay, if needle is not found. So that's... If we've gone through the entire haystack, we need to return error just hay. And if once we've got to the end of the haystack, we also have to be checking at that point if there's any more stuff to come out of the needle. You know, so I guess we could just sort of say at that point, if we've got to this point, we could say, does needle plus plus, does that kind of exist? You know, is that non-null or something? And if it is, then return the error try panophobia. Well, the first thing I reckon is to say if the value at haystack at I is equal to the value at needle at I, if they're the same. No, that's not. Is that correct? No, it's not. It's needle at 0. Right. If haystack at I is equal to needle at 0, well, it's kind of like while haystack at I is equal to 0. We want to enter a different loop. Let's do this a bit of a kind of potentially long way. If haystack at I is equal to needle at 0, the case really is while haystack at I is equal to needle at J. Let's see. If haystack at I is equal to needle at 0, it's kind of like while haystack. You know, we kind of just want to increment these things. Because I want to be making sure that we're kind of comparing the right stuff. And if they are, you know, if this is still being satisfied, oh wait a second, the needle is a null terminated string. Right. Uh, if so, it's an ultimate string. So while the needle is still going, yeah, I suppose that's the question, isn't it? It's like, should I be testing on, should I be testing on it being the same? Should I be testing on the matching, or should I be testing on needle being still existing? Let's put that back. Actually, haystack, haystack and I. Okay, so that we're saying that it's matching. So while it matches, we want to increment. And do nothing really. Or actually, no, let's do this. While it exists, do that. And then we say, if haystack and I. Yeah, but no, this isn't correct. Because I want to be doing the test. I do want to be doing the test in the for, don't I? I do want to be doing this here, I'm sure. Because I mean, the thing that's stumping me here is that I'm like, I enter this for loop, and if this matches, I just want to be incrementing j and I. And if it fails, you know, once it stops matching, that's when I want to do something else. If needle is an empty string, return 0. Well, let's get a bit of this logic in. If so if the value at needle if the value at needle 1 is not equal to 0, wait a second. If it's if needle is an empty string, return 0. So the empty string. So this is going to be an empty string. If that, then we do all of this stuff. So if it's not equal to that, we do this stuff. Or actually, let's say if it is equal to that, that'd be easier. Then we just say return whatever it was. 0. As we go in here. Else we want to go into the haystack and look for our look for our needle. Which means we do want to be looping through the haystack. I do feel like this is correct up to here. If haystack, if that is equal to the needle at 0, so if the haystack, if that equals the same, if that is the same, well, it's kind of like while, it's actually while they're the same, isn't it? We also need, let's do the int j as well, actually. Int j is equal to 0. So while haystack at I is equal to needle at j, right, we want to do plus plus I and plus plus j. Once they stop matching, we want to see, and also we need to return where the needle starts, don't we? So we can't actually increment I. We actually need to say, God damn it, bloody hell, insofaras. To the first index within haystack which needle starts, right. So yeah, so I need to keep hold of the I. So I can't increment I. God damn it. Well, I mean, I can increment it while I'm looking for it, but once I found it, I can't increment it. So I really need to say... I'm only kidding. I love it, really. I want to do like... I don't know, like int kind of I2 or something, I don't know. II. Yeah, let's say int II is equal to I. And I want to increment II. So while these match, we want to increment II and j. Right, and then if we get to here, we want to be checking a few things. Oh, actually, just spotted something here. So the haystack, the needle is fox. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually. Got 0, expected 16. I mean... Oh, got 16 expected to -1. Did it? Oh, right, the needle changes. Right. Fine. God damn it. Insofar just thinks of everything. Right. Okay. So, yeah. Well, haystack at I. Well, haystack at I is equal to needle at J. Let's just do let's just kind of write out in English what my cases are here. So this is going to be like they match. Right? If they match, and there is no more needle. Right. Well, I mean, basically, yeah. So as soon as it matches, yeah, we'll need. So if they match and there is no more needle, well, it's kind of like if they still match, and there is no more needle, then we can return I. Right. The other case is going to be they still match, but there is more needle. That means we need to return. We need to error, doesn't it? We need to return this. Sorry. The length of the needle string is larger than that of haystack. Yeah. We need to return this guy. And the other case was if they don't match, wasn't it? So we get through all of the. So, yeah. We need to return. We need to early out of this outer for loop here. Then return I. Or this. Well, actually, that's because I'm only looping over the haystack size. I actually need to be doing this test if there's more needle outside of the for loop. Which is going to be kind of there, isn't it? So if they still match and there is no more needle, no, that's not right. I don't need to do this here. I just need to be saying else, don't I? You know. I think. If there's still much, there's no more needle, return I. The other case, so I'm returning, I've got the return 0, the return I, the return trypanophobia. What was the other thing? Error just hey, if the needle's not found. So it's if we get through the whole loop, get through the whole for loop, we need to return error just hey. Right. So I feel like this is kind of close. If they still match and there is no more needle, so let me just see what this loop is doing here. while haystack II is equal to needle at J. Going to increment those guys. So we know that if we've got through this entire loop, do we? If well, actually, this might be a bit busted. Actually, because we're going to be looping over this thing. We're checking if they still match. But if they don't still match, we might still need to be going out to the for loop. So I kind of feel like I need to be checking for the trypanophobia outside of the for loop. Right. If there's still more needle. Oops. Return that. If it's still I would just take. And this else would go. So I can actually write this thing, can't I? If haystack for II is equal to needle, and needle at J plus 1 is they're null terminated, aren't they? Yeah, right. This is going to stop matching, isn't it? The number of characters in a the needle is a null terminated string, right? So these could stop matching, right? They can stop matching when we hit the null terminator. So it's like if haystack at that minus 1 is equal to that means that they match. And that needle at J is not equal to the null terminator. I kind of feel like that's kind of correct, possibly. Return 1. Hang on a minute. If needle's an empty string, return 0. I'm supposed to be returning the I'm supposed to be returning the index, the first index within haystack at which needle starts. What if needle starts at 0? Do we just have like, it's fine to return 0 in both cases? If there is still more needle. So at this point, where are we here? Both kids can return 0. Okay. I kind of feel like at this point I actually need to have declared these a bit earlier. Where's I? I is outside the loop as well. So let's just declare them all, right? In I, J, and II. Then I can just straight up use them. If there's still more needle, so I do need to keep resetting J to be 0. So we come through the entire loop. So if needle at J, well, hang on a minute. If needle at that and needle at this, needle at J is not equal to null. It should be that. Otherwise, if we come through here, if we say needle at J, if this is not equal to null, it's a null terminator string. Yeah, I mean, I suppose potentially, right? I could just have a super weird thing that just straight up tests that. You know, like rather than going through the process of like doing any comparisons, I could just do a different loop where I just kind of go through the whole string. You know, loop through the whole needle until it hits the null terminator, counting up how many characters are in it, and then just do the number of characters take with the haystack size. I mean, it feels a bit cheaty to me. If you know what I mean. I mean, it feels a bit kind of inefficient. Because I do want to be looping through the needle. You know, so I might as well. I feel like the efficient way of doing it would be to kind of do it all in one loop, really. If that makes sense, rather than having a separate loop that just specifically tests like how big the goddamn needle is. Because I'm just thinking here, I might be hitting a case that isn't necessarily the only case. Let's run it actually. Let's just let's see what I get. Well, that didn't work. So that's probably because God. In IJ, J minus what? Yeah, so this isn't correct. Let's just let's F0 this test out. Just see if this is the problematic one. Oh, it's not. Right. Wow, okay. A haystack. What is the error saying? Look at one back to the left of glow. Oh, right. Oh. Okay, right. So I'm probably right, this thing here, this test here is probably incorrect. Because I'm trying to index something that doesn't have any stuff in. Let me just pop a bit of music on. Let's just see if I've got any anything with haystack in the title. No. Hey. Oops. Some Ravel. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately none of the... Well, actually, traditional synthesizer music is on Bandcamp. Where? Oh, it's Shaney. Okay, Shayna. Go on, let's put on Venetian snares. It'll be a bit of a different thing. Alright, so if I stuck it... So I can't test. It's like... I need to first of all see if II is greater than 0. Jesus. If II is greater than 0 and J is greater than 0 and this and that, but why is that going to help at all? Because the whole point of this was to return the actual correct answer, so surely my logic is just busted somewhere else. Let's just see what happens though. Test fails. So it got -2. Right, okay, so what is -2? That is the trypanophobia. Right, interesting. So if neither J is not equal to 0, right, okay. So we are going to early out of this. If needle at 0 is an alternative and return null, else we'd go into this whole process. For I is equal to 0. I is this nice size plus I. Actually, rather than looping over the haystack, why don't I loop over the needle? You know, like... you know, I start off with the first character of the needle. Loop through the hay... yeah, so if... well, no, I mean, it's like... yeah, I suppose again though, I still actually am looping through the haystack, aren't I? So what I was going to say was like... compare the... you know, take the first character of the needle and then start to loop through the haystack until we match the needle. Yeah, but I mean, I kind of am, aren't I? For this. So we're looping through the haystack. For this, if they match, then we want to go into a loop. I'm sure I wrote this before actually. If this happens, right, they want to set these variables up, and then we want to be looping through them. I'm not even sure where these scopes are anymore. Scripture value is not an array. Point or vector. Haystack size. Gosh. If they match, set I to equal to I. J is equal to 0. So J is the thing for the needle. Why shouldn't I? Why am I not using pointers here? I wonder. I guess it doesn't matter actually. It's like while these match, let's just take a complete punt and see what this does. Where did that blow up? To the left of global variable. Sailor. Okay. Hello, Sailor. God, how many test strings have you got in there? the haystack. If haystack at I is equal to needle at 0, if that, then we go into this while loop. Otherwise, we need to jump out of the loop and do the for, right? Yeah, I mean, there isn't much logic in here, is there? So I might as well just kill all this stuff, maybe. Unless I just F0 it, no. Although this isn't true though, is it? Like, okay, so if they match, do this stuff, and they want to be looping over the needle, and the haystack obviously, but like, you know, so while they match we need to be looping. As soon as they stop matching, we need to ask the question. Right. As soon as they stop matching, we have these questions to ask, which is... I'm going to actually... I'm going to do that loop, that first loop, just to take away a case. Right. Put in nice, another one of these things. In needle length. It's equal to 0. So we're going to do that. Although, well, I mean, kind of like while. It's like we want to set the needle length while the needle exists. We want to increment the thing. Although I suppose doing nothing in here will be fine. I want to say, if needle length, take away the haystack size, is greater than 0, we want to return error triphanophobia. Right. If this, return that. Otherwise, we want to set up this, and we want to start looping through the haystack. In IJII, for I is equal to 0, so we're just looping through the haystack here. If haystack at I is equal to needle 0, then we know we're in this situation where they match, right? I want to loop over. We've still got the needle length, haven't we? Maybe not actually, because it's in this scope. Let's make this into an actual while loop actually. I feel a bit weird about this being like that. Needs an empty string. Needle is larger. You just larger than a haystack. And then this. The other test here. Test where the needle is. Test where the needle is. And the final thing was just hay. So if we've got through this entire loop, so at the end of this loop, right, at the end of this loop, we need to have returned I. If we haven't returned I, then we should have returned, then we need to go out of it and we need to return error just hay. Right, those are our cases. Right, is that all lined up? Right, this is my loop. Whatever's going on in here. What's happening here? So we've dealt with the trypanophobia. I've just done the error just hoe. And this is a weird case here. That does all sorts of nonsense. Let's just get rid of this nonsense here. Right. So now I've narrowed it down to say test where the needle is, and this at the end it doesn't really tell you. It just straight up fucking says that it's only hay. Straight up fucking says. Straight up fucking crashes. It just you know, straight says that there ain't no needle. Mate. That there ain't no needle, mate. So we're testing where the needle is. We cannot hit the We cannot hit the empty needle case in here. We cannot hit the trypanophobia case if we're in here. So all we're looking for here is if it matches, isn't it? That's all we're looking for. It's like, so while they match, Mio's tuned in late. Wow, okay. Well, we're doing the PPIC lesson from Insofaras. This guy. Once you mute them and listen to highway. Oh, nice. Oh, speaking of highway songs, trust me, it's in here, but I haven't unwrapped it yet. That's what I'll be doing after the stream. The Love Particle is Mia's favourite track. Awesome. I'll have a listen to it later. Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually got a turntable at the moment, so I kind of hope it's got it's like a downloadable thing or a free CD included in it, because some records you find they just throw in the CD. So I hope it's done that. Yeah. So it says Middle Thunder High Five One. Speaking of High Five Ones, actually, another thing I've got here. Yeah, this is actually my High Five One. And you know what I just realised? I just realised that my address is probably revealed on that bit, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyway, that was my High Five One, which I still haven't unwrapped yet. Just let me know this. First thing for that. No, the High Five One isn't quite that big. Yeah. Yeah, this little guy, yeah. Yeah, does it say High Five? So okay, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, this little guy, yeah, it is the High Five One. I still haven't unwrapped, but so while Haystack so while the match we need to what is this outer loop here? This is if they match, isn't it? But with the melted stuff. Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, there's no time pressure. You can use this time to kind of mull over the future and dream. So while they match, so when they stop matching, so I don't need to be testing for the needles too big. I mean, I kind of just want to be saying, so right, so for I equals 0, if they match, then we go into this entire situation. Otherwise, everyone is, yeah, aren't they just? If they match, then we go to C. Otherwise, it should have incremented I. So we can only enter this situation if they match. So while that is equal to needle at J belongs to increments, if they stop matching, we can't just return I if they match. I don't think, because if they stop matching, if they stop matching because needle at J is equal to I is equal to an alternate, right? So if needle at J is equal to the null terminator, is this correct? Is it Insabot smart enough to count karma? I've got a funny feeling he isn't, actually. But insofaras from now. If we've come to the end of the needle, yeah, right. So it basically means that we need to have found the entire needle in the haystack. If the needle is like foxglove, for example, and it finds the word fox, it matches the word fox in the haystack, the G will stop matching because it would be comparing with a space. So that means that we need to then kind of continue our search, starting with the top start of the needle again. If, on the other hand, so that was with needle being foxglove, and with the haystack containing fox. If, on the other hand, we've got the needle is fox and the haystack contains foxglove, because that fox substring has fitted in there, if they've differed because needles come to the end, then that is valid. So we should return I here. Right. Otherwise, if that isn't null, then we need to pop out of the loop, which will happen there, and increment I and keep doing the thing. Insofar, we should fix the parsing of the karma mobile. So let's just see what happens here. Oh, what? Seriously? Serious? God damn it. Located 58 bytes to the left of global variable. Good luck, Miblo. Look at Insabot. Kinda wanna sleep soon. Didn't know he had to sleep. Test for the needles. Turn 0. In needle length is 0. If needle length is not equal to that, increment needle length. I is equal to 0. I is less than the haystack size. Plus I. So this is going to be looping through the haystack. So if the haystack... I mean, I wonder if I could actually step through this. If haystack at I equals needle at 0, have we been incrementing J? We have been incrementing J. So, right. We want to be setting J out here. Right. And I suppose we might as well just say if that is equal to that. But then, I mean, if that is equal to that, yeah, because we want to keep I, because we need to return it. And that's why I'm getting this other pointer here. Well, haystack at I. So I is going to be equal to I. While that is equal to the needle at J, and J is 0 when it goes into it, we want to increment I and J. While this if we come out of here and we find that they're no longer matching, if needle at J is equal to null, I should do the loop. I might have to step through this and just see what's going on. So let's just step into here, test to see if needle is an empty string. Run to there. Okay, so the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Interesting, right? So this is kind of handy actually that we see. Wow. I wonder if insofaras is kind of managed to implement this in such a way that it does reveal the stuff automatically. Haystack is at that pointer. The quick buzzer is over the lazy dog. So the haystack size is 43. Right. So and the needle is fox. So if needle at 0 is equal to a null, then it should return 0, right? So it shouldn't return 0. and it hasn't. Right, so int needle length is 0. So I have to know that the needle length the needle is now fox, so it should be 3, shouldn't it? Oh, needle. Shit's doing weird distracting, isn't it? Not at all. Keep going, guys. It's all good. So if I just print out the needle at this point, this should be 2. Yeah. Like that. So it's 3. So the needle length is now 3. This should say that this should say that it is matching the null pointer, so it shouldn't increment the needle length. It doesn't seem to have done. So the needle length is still 3. Right. If needle length, take away the haystack, is greater than 0, this should fail, right? Because the haystack is like much bigger. Right, so it hasn't passed that test. But I equals 0, I is less than the haystack size. Yeah, this can never go outside the bounds of the haystack. Ah, hang on a second. This can't go outside the bounds, but this guy could. Couldn't it? I think this while loop could go outside the bounds of the haystack. Just continue stepping through though. I equals 0. I doesn't say so, plus plus I. If haystack die is equal to needle at J. If that, which they're not, right? It's gone down to there. Right, okay, yeah, that's fine. So this is still that. This is going to increment I. Yep, right, good. It's now reset J to 0. Right, okay, so this is doing what I'd expect, right? Okay, so let's just step through until we hit this case. Right, let's just run through and continue until we hit that. Okay. So this means that Fox, you know, we should be matching Fox here. Right. So while haystack of that is equal to needle J. Right, so they're saying that they match. We're going to increment II and increment J. Let's just print out the haystack at II. So that is the O. And the needle at J is going to be also O, obviously. So we've incremented them both. Now we're matching X against X. They have matched, so we're incrementing those guys. And now we are matching a space against a null. Right, so it shouldn't enter this loop. But it hasn't. if needle j at that is equal to a null, then return I. And needle at j is a null pointer, isn't it? Right. So that is a null. And that's the only test we need to do, so that means that we should just return the I. So we go into the test harness. Right. I don't really want to see anything in the test harness, to be fair. So let's just continue. Oh, does it do a few... It does a few tests. That's interesting. Okay. Right, interesting. So that was... So it succeeded on the first time round. Right, I think I might have to backtrace it. No stack. That's unfortunate. Should I buy some buggy address? God. So this was trying to find ASDFG in a haystack of 5. So in this situation, the needle is the same size as the haystack. If needle length is less than the haystack size, if needle length take away the haystack size, it's greater than 0. So it failed that, right? What was the actual, what was in the actual haystack? So I presume it just means that the haystack, so, right, yeah, so the haystack fully fitted the needle. So in the case where it fully fits the needle, so this is the start of the haystack. If the haystack is equal to needle, so coming back through this loop, we were saying it's resetting I to 0. We haven't reset J. Sorry, we are resetting J to 0 too. So they are going to match, right? I is equal to I. While they match, increment these guys. Oh. Right, okay. I see what's happening. Basically what's happening is, because they match exactly, these guys increment, and then the next time we test it, we're testing out of bounds memory. So it's like, increment those guys. God damn it. It's like, so we do need to do a different test, with another test. We need to say while the haystack size take away I. The haystack was 5. This made it 6. So it's okay, greater than or equal to 0, I reckon. Let's see if this guy passes. Where am I? Is that the end of this album? Wow, okay. Oh. God damn it, that's unfortunate. Did I rebuild? There ain't no needle, mate. Let's step through it again and just see what's going on. Let's pop on some limbo. So, yeah, this was a hell of a bump in difficulty insofaras. If that, so yeah, that can't really, there can't be anything dodgy about that. Needle. So if needle. Test where needle is. The next one, I have to implement Half-Life 3. Wow. Well, I mean, I tell you what, somebody's got to do it, haven't they? So, you know, it might as well be me. Oh, how sick is that? Yeah, it's only in this, once we get in here, where it could fail, isn't it? Just double check. If needle like that is equal to a null thing, that's going to straight up return 0. So there can't be any problems with that. Set needle length to be 0. While needle length is not equal to the null pointer increment. Sorry, while it's not increments, while it's not equal to a null character, increment the needle length. So increment the needle length is fine, and once we've done that, it returns that. So there can't be any problems with that, I don't think. In IJ and II, for I is equal to 0. Yeah. So it's, yeah, when we get into this situation here, tell you what, let's jump into this and just keep an eye on the cases that are going by. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, sorry, it's not that actually. It's not there. I don't care about that. It's if they match. So it's when we get to here. I want to be seeing what the keeping an eye on what the cases are. So if we just run. So the first case is and the string is the fox, right? So this passes. The next case is A, S, D, F, G. And I think this is going to fail. Yeah, right. So let's restart and see how it fails. So this passes. So we're into the new case now, right? So what is this doing? Haystack size. Take away II. So what is II at the moment? II is 0. And haystack size is 5. Well, that's greater than 0. Yeah, which it is. And haystack, this is equal to needle J, yeah. So it's going to do that. And that. So it's going to go through all of this loop. Right, it's going to go through it. So basically this loop is going to go through, it's going to go through there until we get to this test, right? If needle J is equal to a null, you turn I. What is I at this point? I is 0. What is needle J? That is a null. So it should return I, right? So it's trying to access needle J. Can I do this? No. Let's run it again. Can I PJ? No, I couldn't. It's out of the scope. It was no symbol J in current context. So now into the ASDFG. We want to continue down until the problematic test. So at this point, J is equal to 6. Right, okay, so it's trying to access... Yeah, but I mean, like needle at J, it should be a null pointer, right? Sorry, it should be a null, right? And it is a null. You know, we can test it. Like this man's that is going to be G, isn't it? Oh. What? A S D F G A S D F G. That's 5 things. The null is at needle 5. Oh, dude, yeah. What a shame. And I think that's the only bug, isn't it? I just totally was looking at the wrong place. 6 is too many. Yeah. 7 is way out. Yeah. J take away 1. If that is null. I suspect this is going to pass now. Oh, it's failed. Wow. Okay. How has it failed? Jesus. It got -1, but it expected 16. What does -1 mean? Error just hey. Why did I go to error just hey? Why didn't it return? Let's step into this. So the case we care about is kind of here, isn't it? This is when it starts to match. Right. So we want to. So it is starting to match, isn't it? Let me just see actually. The needle at put the needle at J. That's the O of Fox, right? So this is where I am. So it's tested again. It's incremented up to the X. Well, haystack size take away. I. Right, yeah, this should be okay. It should fail this. It should pass this test, but it should fail this one. Well, I mean, I can see. Haystack at II. This is going to be like a space. Oh, right, on the X. Well, fine. Okay, so this is going to be a space. And the needle at J. That's the null. So they no longer match. So the needle at J. Oh, wait a second. No, but this is correct. You know, because you haven't. Oh, right. Why are we in a different situation here? You know, because I do want to be testing at this point whether because J is null, needle at J is null. Yeah, needle at J is null. And haystack at II is a space. The situation was the situation was that this was the this was exactly matching. So the needle length was exactly the haystack size. And in that case, we couldn't increment these guys because it would nuke this this test. We couldn't access haystack II because it didn't exist. Will we need to have two different loops? One if... Well, actually, I suppose we could say, we could do an if here. If... or could we do needle at J take away something like the haystack size minus II, because basically we need to reconcile this this situation here. You know, because this is going to hit here, it's going to match, right? It's going to say that needle at J minus I is an X, so it doesn't match with that. So it's going to like, it's not going to return I, it's going to pop out of the loop, probably, and return the O just hay. So yeah, right, I need to fix this then. I need to say haystack size minus II. I mean, it's kind of like... Yeah, but again, it's null terminated, isn't it? So while it's not null terminated, we increment the needle length. If haystack haystack size, take away II, is greater than or equal to 0. And that then once you increment II and J. If needle take away, is there a way that I can get what is II again? II is I. Oh, we're incrementing II. So see what value II is at this point. II is 19. And I is 16. And the length of the needle is 3. So if we see what's happening here, I minus I is equal to 3. I minus that minus this is equal to 0. And I need a 0 here. Haystack size minus... I basically need to be able to somehow get this to be minus 1. You know, in some cases it needs to be minus 1, and in some cases it needs to be 0. Could it work out? You know, if I just do j minus all of this stuff. What's j actually? J is 3. I mean, if j is equal to 3, then do this. Sorry, that's complete nonsense. If j is equal to the needle length, if j is equal to the needle length, then we need to do this. Otherwise, we want to say otherwise we want to test if needle at j is equal to this. Hang on a minute. What am I doing here? If needle at j is equal to that, then we need to return I. Sorry, if j if j is equal to the needle length, if needle length take away j minus 1 is equal to null, return I. If j is not equal to the needle length, wow, this is going super Frankenstein. It's probably not even the right logic either. So if this, then we do this. Otherwise we just sort of say if needle at that. Let's just see what this does. I don't think this is at all correct. Yeah. Let's just back out all that stuff. So hopefully this won't fail. Well, I mean it will fail, but it won't die. Just fail on the input of the fox. We've got a fox. And that's because we are taking away 1, because Needle at j minus 1 is x, which isn't a null. Haystack size minus II. While haystack size minus II is greater than or equal to 0. So the haystack size in this case is something. II is equal to what is II again? II is the point in the string. The point in the haystack, rather. So if the haystack size is 5, right, let's say. So in the case of the ASDFG, and we're taking away 5 because we've come to the end of the haystack. We've come to the end of the haystack, so we can't increment II. That's the reason why I'm doing the test here. It's to avoid me doing the II. Yeah, so basically the situation here is that it's not going to allow me to match. It's not going to allow me to match needles that are at the end of the haystack. Because the needle is null terminated. The haystack isn't. And my logic isn't really fully taking care of that. I mean, an easy fix would be just to pop a null, just null terminate the haystack. You know, just like when I come into this function, just sort of straight up say haystack at haystack size is equal to a null terminator. Could that work? Not that I should do that, because I don't think I should be changing the haystack size. Or changing the haystack at all. Or the needle, for that matter. That's why you marked it const. Right. So you just think of everything. So the haystack is not null terminated. It could come to the end. The haystack at the end could match with the needle at the end minus 1. This is going to be super weird, right? But can you just straight up say j is equal to 1 if that j minus 1 is equal to that, while this actually, could that work? Nah, that can't work, can it? If I wanted, I think you're very close when you weren't doing the minus 1 in the end bit. Okay, so in this case, oh my god. Oh, dude. Because the situation here, right, is I'm incrementing these bastards, right, at the same time. I can't increment the haystack size because of this guy. So I could just straight up fucking say plus plus j here. Can I? Oh, wait a minute. Won't that fail though? You know, because I'm essentially saying here, no, that can't be right. Yeah, that can't be right, can it? While haystack size, take away II. Let's just see if this dies. It doesn't die, but it does fail. Let's just see. I'm going to suspect that this is going to die. Yeah. These are J. And that is dying because... Why is it dying? What? Oh, that's now dying on the... That's dying on the other test. Needle at J is out of bounds. Oh, actually, not, sorry. Not needle at J, but something is out of bounds. Oh my god! I've like just totally passed it. Jesus. I can do, yeah. Yeah, right. So the top of the A-sand. Dude, does my car? I don't know. Available for overflow on address. How to size that? It's like 859, 8 by to the left. Let me just run it a few times. Why did I not see that? Greater than or equal to 0. How did I fail to see that? I got a feeling that this was passing one of the tests but failing another. And this was failing the... Oh, it's failing the quick brown fox one. So that's failing the quick brown fox test. And this guy was failing the ASDF G test, probably. Oh, I was just straight up fucking failing anyway. So that was failing... Oh, that was failing the quick brown fox as well. That was failing the quick brown fox too. Right. I don't know then. This passed. Oh wow. Bosh. Gosh, this is a tantalising glimpse into the future. Wow, gosh. So let's see what I've learnt today. It's been quite a long stream, I think. It's always like 2 o'clock now, so it's been a 2-hour stream. Oh, and I've dropped some frames, which is unfortunate. So that's a 2-hour 20 lesson. So I did the Dude Is My Car, that was pretty straightforward. I just need to loop over the thing, and if it passed, if it matched the thing, I needed to return I. In this one, I tested first if it was an empty string, and if it wasn't, I returned null, kind of early outed. And then I tested to see if it was larger than if the needle was larger than the haystack, and if it was, then I early outed. Otherwise, I went into this intervals. I hope I didn't make it too brutal. It was helpful. I think it was helpful. Yeah. I mean, you got me to learn about lots of different returns. Lots of different cases that can happen. Because like my inputs weren't known at all, and that's something that I haven't really had to deal with so far. And also the fact that I couldn't modify the input to match, to kind of match my logic, if you know what I mean. Because if it was my own thing, I probably would have just straight up appended a null to the haystack. Similar to how I kind of just straight up say that for the Borers-Wheeler transform, I just straight up say that it ends with a new line. It's just testing where the needle is, and it's just so funny. Like 2 hours work to just do like one for loop, one while loop. So it's just two loops basically. So weird. I mean, I think I was definitely correct to keep hold of the eye. I needed like a shadow, not an actual shadow variable, but like I needed like an extra variable. Program can offer me like that. Yeah. I needed this I variable to do the actual looping. Although I wonder if I could have, instead of doing I equals I wonder if I could have done like a sort of I minus J situation. Could that have worked? No, that couldn't have worked, could it? Or I plus J, actually. So I would be in the same position. Oh yeah, the increment J. I guess that might have worked, actually. I won't try that now, though, because I'm gonna have to wind down. Let me just move a commit in J. Yeah, and we had to have gone through the whole loop. We had to have gone through the haystack in order to have determined whether there was no needle in it. So I think I did that the correct place. So yeah, I mean, I suppose the only potential kind of streamlining I can think of doing at the moment is to, instead of declaring a second I could use like the original I and the J together. And just increment J. I think that's the only possible thing that I can see at the moment. I think the solution did it pretty similar. Okay. Awesome. I'll tell you what, maybe tomorrow I will start off by just seeing this little theory is actually true. Like I could do without this I. Start off with that, and then go on to the next task, which hopefully contains Bosch, which I'm super excited about. Maybe I should split the solutions to be per function so you can compare them without spoilers. Yeah, possibly actually, yeah. Yeah, because yeah, absolutely. Split the solutions to be per function. Yeah, so it only actually reveals it if you return something. Are you thinking? Because like, yeah. Also, it's like I even wonder if you need to say. I wonder if you actually need to say anything, if you know what I mean. Because like when I like if I step into this now, CGDB lesson 1. If I this is with oh, I see, right, yeah. Yeah. If I run this now, yeah, if I kind of go down to the memory hole, if I step into here, I think if I run to here, the memory hole is going to actually, so this does contain the information that you are outputting. Like the array count is 3, the string is bush, so there is that information there already. So in order to find out why something's failing, let me just see about this actually. It got 0 and it expected result 1. I suppose also there were multiple tests in these, well, I mean certainly in the find substring. I wonder if it'd be worth outputting, like, outputting the actual expected and got when you pass. Oh shit, just you do. Just wondering though, because like what was saying in terms of like the don't show this because you can look in the debugger. Maybe this isn't really spoilery. And you're only showing this. You're only printing this once you pass the previous tests. But from like a learner's perspective, it's a bit unusual. Because like basically what's happened here is that I've completed test 2, and I've been focusing on test 2 and been like working on that. As soon as I pass it, I don't know what the next test is. Yet I'm already kind of getting a bit of information about it. Not 100% sure how I kind of feel about that. I mean, maybe it's fine actually, and maybe it's kind of cool to have this kind of stuff because it's a bit of a it's a bit of a teaser. It's like this is the kind of stuff that you've got coming up, and I'm not just saying that because Kate's name is here, teasing the hell out of me. It kind of indicates to the learner that there's more to come, and they kind of know that, like, they will get the full instructions in the actual thing. Yeah, so maybe this is fine. Maybe it's fine to output this. Can we look at a few bits in the repo with your thoughts? Right, okay. I'll try and do that. Not now, obviously, when I have time. Alright, cool. So, yeah, feedback issue. Yeah, just this guy. Oh, wow, there's already one issue. Lesson ideas. Oh, wow. Okay. Different uses of pointers. Interesting. variably length arrays. Yeah. Bare arcs. Yeah, linked list. That's one thing I want to learn at some point. So passing arguments by reference, I believe that's what I did with my swap function. I think because I did that as like a void. So I couldn't pass stuff by value, I don't think. Optional values. Cool. Yeah, okay, so I think I'm going to call it there. Yeah, that was really awesome and pretty difficult actually, I found. And it was kind of like the, like TAS 100 and stuff. But dimensions wrong. Where did I just totally didn't. I just didn't realize that. What are you talking about, Mio? What are you talking about? That is the correct spelling of dimensions. Like, what is this? What is this spelling here? This means nothing to me. Anyway, yeah. This is the end of part one. Part one of PPIC_lessons. So yeah, thanks so much for, well, not so much for watching, but thank you so much to insofaras specifically for writing the lessons. Yeah, just they're just super awesome. And they gave me a good kind of a good programming workout. Although like I say, like it's just so short, but like, it got me thinking of stuff that I haven't had to think about before. So it was a really cool change from the usual kind of repetition. Thanks for trying it out. And this also does need a plus plus. and an insofar as shaped heart. Yeah, and if anybody else found that kind of handy to kind of see me go through it, to kind of see me go through it, and hopefully didn't necessarily remember how I did it, then you can totally kind of just clone this repo yourself. The button is just here. The link is I'll just pop it in the thing. And also there was no stuff from InsoBot, was there? Is there anybody in here? Is there anybody I don't recognise? There's a name in here. Kaush. I don't recognise the name Kaush, so I'll just pop that in here in case you want to see. In case you want to see this lesson. Yeah, do give it a try. Cloning the thing is just there. And yeah, there will be more. I believe there will be more lessons to come, and there'll be more of me trying to complete them. But for now, I think it's just farewell, isn't it? Farewell for now.